The Middle East is once again moving dangerously close to a much bigger war. Donald Trump has rejected Iran's latest peace proposal. Tensions in the Strait of Hormuz are rising fast, and military forces across the region are preparing for what could happen next. At the same time, Gaza continues to suffer. Southern Lebanon is under heavy fire again, and world leaders are warning that the situation is becoming extremely unstable. So, is the ceasefire already collapsing, and could the world be heading toward another major conflict? Let's break it all down. The biggest headline right now is Donald Trump's latest statement on Iran. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump made it very clear that he believes Iran has already been weakened militarily. He told reporters that Iran has been totally defeated militarily, and claimed that any remaining military strength could be destroyed very quickly if necessary. But what shocked many people was the confidence in his words. Trump said, "Of course I have a plan. I have the best plan ever." At the center of his strategy is one key demand. Iran must never obtain a nuclear weapon. That has become the main line repeated again and again by Washington. But Iran sees the situation very differently. Tehran says it wants guarantees that another war will never happen again. And honestly, from Iran's perspective, trust has completely collapsed. Over the past year, while negotiations were still happening, Iran faced repeated airstrikes from both the United States and Israel. So now Iranian leaders believe diplomacy alone may not protect them anymore. And that mistrust is becoming one of the biggest obstacles to peace. According to reports, Iran recently sent a new peace proposal to the United States through Pakistan acting as a mediator, but Trump rejected the proposal almost immediately. In a social media post, he accused Iran of playing games. That response shows just how far apart both sides still are. More than a month after the ceasefire announcement, real negotiations appear to be falling apart. Iran wants a permanent end to military attacks. But Trump reportedly insists that Iran must first reopen and fully secure the Strait of Hormuz before any larger peace agreement can move forward. And this is where things become extremely dangerous. Because the Strait of Hormuz is not just another waterway, it is one of the most important shipping routes on Earth. Almost 1/3 of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. That means any military tension there affects the entire global economy. Oil prices rise, gas prices rise, and countries around the world start to panic. That's exactly why Trump recently suggested suspending the US gas tax. Speaking to CBS News, he called the idea great as fuel prices continue to increase because of the war. Trump said the tax could be temporarily removed until gas prices come back down. But experts say here is a problem. Suspending the tax would require approval from Congress, and according to reports, it could cost the US government around $500 million every single week. Still, the fact that Washington is even discussing emergency fuel measures shows how serious the situation has become. Now Europe is beginning to react as well. Lithuania's top security council has approved plans to send troops to an international mission in the Strait of Hormuz. The goal is to protect international shipping routes and prevent further escalation. Reports say up to 40 military personnel could join the operation once Parliament gives final approval. And Lithuania is not alone. The European Union is now increasing security cooperation with Gulf countries including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and the UAE. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas warned that the ceasefire in the region is now under heavy strain. She also accused Iran of threatening freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. In response, the EU is preparing additional sanctions connected to maritime security. This shows the conflict is no longer just about Iran and the United States. More countries. They are slowly becoming involved. While world leaders discuss military strategy and diplomacy, civilians across the region continue to suffer. In Gaza, the humanitarian crisis remains devastating. According to the latest figures from Gaza's health ministry, more than 72,000 people have been killed since the war began in October 2023. Over 172,000 people have reportedly been wounded, and despite ceasefire announcements, violence has not fully stopped. The ministry says hundreds more people have been killed even after the latest ceasefire agreement took effect. Behind every number is a real human life, families destroyed, children injured, entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble, and for ordinary civilians trapped in the conflict, peace still feels very far away. At the same time, tensions are also rising in southern Lebanon. Officially, there is supposed to be a ceasefire, but people living there say the attacks never truly stopped. Airstrikes and artillery fire continue across several towns and villages. Hezbollah fighters reportedly launched surface-to-air missiles at Israeli drones flying over the city of Tyre, and in one deadly strike in the town of Abba, a woman and her grandson were killed. Fear is growing fast across southern Lebanon. Thousands of families had already returned home after hearing about the ceasefire, but now many are once again living in fear, unsure if another major escalation is coming. And with talks scheduled between Lebanon and Israel in Washington, the next few days could become extremely important. Right now, the entire world is watching the Middle East very carefully, because history has shown that conflicts in this region rarely stay contained for long. A single attack, a failed negotiation, or one military mistake could trigger a much larger crisis involving multiple countries. And the economic impact is already spreading globally through energy markets, fuel prices, and trade routes. For now, diplomacy is still alive, but trust between both sides appears weaker than ever.